What's up, Tristan? I try to tell him. I don't know. People are gonna do what they want to do, but yeah, I need the help bad. Like I don't ask for help like that, but I really need the help if you're able to help. So yeah, the Cash App's right there. I'm trying to like host a topic so you guys aren't bored while I'm up here. Instead of just me saying, hey, cash me, cash me, cash me. I don't want to just keep going. You feel me? So yeah, we got 100 people in here. Joe Rogan just endorsed Trump. I mean, we already knew it was gonna happen. I already knew that was gonna happen. People are gonna want Trump, so they pop people. Again, I don't want to make my shit always about that anymore. I've seen plenty of other people host a civil conversation about this, and they have thousands of people in this shit. Why can't I? Let's go, chat. Tap the screenshot alive. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy.
Wow. This behavior is not aligned with our policies and may impact your live match feature. Reason is exploiting opposing viewpoints for gift baiting. You see that?
Let me see real quick. Exploiting opposing viewpoints? When did you do that?
Apparently when I was battling. Well, is it because I had the Kamala thing in the background while I'm battling?
Maybe. Oh, maybe, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they serial.
Wow. That is intense. I guess those are the new rules.
It's one of them, yeah.
Damn. Well, I ain't battling no more with that shit in the background. I'll tell you that. That's crazy.
That's wild behavior.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's... I don't know what to say about that. That's different. That's wow. That's insane. Trying to have this sit here real quick so I can grab what? Never mind. Harris. Okay, well, you guys are saying it in the chat. You guys should be coming up in the box saying it so we can get people in here. You guys got to send your request in. Yeah, you guys got to hop in the box. It's so hard to see comments. Okay. Nah, I can't see the comments at all when I do this. Yeah, this is blocking the fucking comments. Okay. All right. So there's only going to be one person in the box. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the reason why I'm voting for Harris is because, one, as a female and had problems with birthing my kids, I want for my future daughters to be able to have that health care and have that protection of making that decision with their bodies. It's their choice, their bodies, their choice to do.
I love you. I love you, Mom.
I love you too. Go watch your show. I love you. I'm so sorry. That's my son.
Say hi.
Okay, say hi. Say hi, to Uncle.
Hi, Uncle.
So, and I feel like she will actually make change that is needed to move forward in this country. As an Army veteran, I'm hoping that she can help the legislation make a move in a positive direction.
Mango sandwich, please.
Okay, in a minute. Give me a minute. To help the veterans, including myself, to be able to medically, mentally, emotionally, bring services to the VA throughout the United States. Help them, hire more doctors and nurses and people like me who work in the front. I want to, when I work in the VA, I help a lot of older veterans get to their appointments. And that is like the best feeling in the world because I can hear stories and I can hear, their stories and listen to what they've went through and just say, hey, I know what it was like. I've been there. I served 7 years. I went to Iraq twice. It was no picnic, but I got out alive and with honorable discharge, and I am grateful for that. It was the best experience I've ever had. But I'm hoping that future women understand the positions that they're in by making the correct, voting for the person that is going to fight for them. Not somebody that can't even make complete sentences and actually make sense whenever he wants to prove a point. Somebody that is willing to have compassion and understanding and listen to the other person's, their perspective and not get mad. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, about how I feel. And this is just my perspective on the whole situation here in the United States, because I don't want my children worrying in fear about their color of their skin or being a female or not being able to get the possible health care that they need to be able to survive and function.
Okay. Is there anyone
And
else?
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, is there anyone else that want to come up? I know it's not just you. Is Phoenix the only one voting? Like, anybody else?
Please, if there's anybody else who wants to jump up on the live, please do. I want to hear what you have to say.
What's up, Jason? Or are people going to wait to come up until there's views? Because that would be fucking weird.
Are you guys only going to come up when it's like drama or it's jam packed or there's something going on? No, I don't
mean,
care about ops. I just want people to come up because they give a fuck about me and they just want to talk about the election. Like, I'm not trying to do no drama shit. I'm just like, people don't have to sit here and wait to come up unless something's jumping off. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Mariah, if you can, jump in. I'm not op. Do you don't have to? I don't. You don't have to be op, right? Opposition.
No. What's
Oh, by
on
the
there?
way,
Oh,
I saw your last your post on my FYP about that lady that was harassed by that guy. I was just like, wow. So I did exactly what you did. I reposted it
thank you.
because
Lola.
that's unacceptable. Yeah, no,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
On.
Go ahead, get an orange.
Okay.
You know, it's okay to be nervous, Aaron, but please jump up. The only way to face your fears is to jump in.
Go ahead, Mariah.
All right, Mike.
I'm voting for Kamala tomorrow, me and my mom, and we're really excited. My grandpa also just voted for Kamala. He's only voted twice in his entire life, and they're both for women. He said it's mainly to keep Trump out, and I completely respect that. We didn't win in 2016, but we're gonna win now.
Okay.
And he's 85 years old, by the way, so he's on the. I want him to see a woman president before he passes.
I know that's right.
May I say something too? I wish my grandma, God rest her soul, was alive to see this.
I can't feel it.
Because she was born in 1924, and unfortunately she died in 2021. But she lived to be 106. But she would have been so happy to be able to see the first Madam President.
Wait,
I wish my grandma could have seen. Oh, sorry.
She was born in
Go ahead.
1924. Died in 2002. Wait, wouldn't that would make her 106?
Or maybe it was younger than that. I apologize. That's what I was told by my older family members. Maybe it was before that.
No,
But from what
97.
107. Yeah.
Still, that's a long life.
Yeah. She's been through the Great Depression, both World Wars, the Cold, I mean, everything that happened in this world. But I'm just really hoping that a lot of the black men understand that Trump doesn't care about them.
Hold on.
And
Hold on. Meetings, wait. Hey, what you say in the comment section? I don't know.
You saw a nearly 80-year-old Donald Trump
Hey,
unhinged, and as you've been discussing, talking about things that are deeply concerning.
I don't even know they up here. Go ahead, Mag.
Oh, thank you for having me, first and foremost. I've been following you for quite some time, and trust me, I enjoy your videos, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I gotta say, I'm voting for Ms. Harris. I think she, of course, is the best choice for everyone. We all know that Cheeto Face don't know whether he's coming or going. He don't care about no one else other than his own ego. We all know the only reason he's running for president is just to keep his ass out of jail. I'm voting for her because I just want her to keep these people out of women's rights you know, women should have the right to do whatever they want with their body. And the whole fact that he just wants to control women's bodies, and also how he talks about how migrants and how the Haitian people were eating cats and dogs. Like, first and foremost, I'm Dominican. Haiti's right next to me. I consider them basically my brothers. So the whole fact that he said that, you know, just freaking hurt my heart. Like, why would you even say that about those people? And all just to make it seem like they were just bad people. But luckily, I believe it was the mayor of that town or something that came out and said, hey, none of that shit is actually happening.
Yeah.
So good looks on that for that. And first and foremost, she's been, you know, she's highly educated. She know what she's talking about. She's been in most of all the branches of the government. So it's not like him that he just came out of willy-nilly, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. At least she's been in these fields and she's going to set us on the right track. But we already know how most of his cult followers are. They don't care. They like him because he's a show. He makes it look like he's all macho and all of that. And some of these people actually like that. So that's why I'm voting for her. And plus, when it comes to the whole Palestinian thing, I think we have a much better chance of getting something passed and something concrete with her, because she'll be more willing to listen. And we all know what he wants to do with Gaza. He just wants to make it into a parking lot. So, yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Trey.
Hey, what's good, yo? Just followed you recently, man. You've been following in my For You page, and been really liking the content you've been putting out, and the stitches you've been doing on other people's videos and stuff. And I've already voted. I voted for Madam Vice President, and my issue with the other side is somewhat civility, right? This guy is he's not. I don't believe he's fit to be president again. I believe he's a con man, you know, from what I read up on him and what I see in the news. And I want him to face accountability. You know what I mean? I just feel like if he was to win, then he's able to escape a lot of the, you know, the things he's done, you know, all the laws he's broken, you know. So I'm cool with Kamala's some of her policies and stuff, but I'm more so wanting to see the bad guy, you know, see justice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm riding with Sister Kamala Harris.
Good shit. Anybody else want to come up?
Is my mic still on, brother?
Yeah, your mic's on.
Okay. I was on the live for a while, and you know, just listening. I can speak for myself personally. I see that you're on point, brother, and you're good at picking people's shit apart, and I'm not sure if that might be a reason why a lot of people are not jumping on the live. You know, that they might feel as though, you know, they might be a little intimidated by you or whatever, because you know your shit. You know, it seems like you do a lot of research.
No, it's not intimidation. No, it's not no drama in here. That's
no.
Why nobody's coming up, because it's nothing all inspiring, nothing that's gonna make people laugh or giggle or be like, oh shit, you see what this person said. It's none of that going on right now. This live is just very chill, and a lot of people don't really want to come up when the live is chill like that. They want drama and stuff like that. So,
gotcha.
That's all they want.
I appreciate you allowing me to jump on your live, and I appreciate your content, brother, and your fight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, word.
Anybody else want to come up for this live, or you guys good? Anybody else? Anybody else? This is your chance to speak. Come up and speak your mind. Also, this is an emergency crowdfund live for me and my fam. I'm behind on a lot of stuff and I really need the help. So if you guys can help clear that Cash App goal right there, 990, that would be fucking amazing. If you guys can help me clear that goal, definitely need all the help me and the family can get. So donate whatever you can to that. Trill says the United States is corporate, so it needs to be run by a businessman. So you want the country to be run by a businessman that has 6 failed businesses? I don't know.
Just about to say the same thing. Most of all his businesses, they all been bankrupt. So he's not successful. He's successful at bankrupts. Yeah, sure. That's what he's successful at.
Yeah, plus, I don't know who said it earlier, but someone said he's only running for president to stay out of jail and pardon himself. That's essentially what he's doing.
That I actually mentioned that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because he don't care about this. He don't care about the country or the people, what regular folks have to be dealing with their rent, with all these inflations going on. He don't care. He's trying to keep his ass out of jail so he can pardon himself and not have to deal with the consequences he's going to have to eat. But he's going to have to eat those because he's going to lose.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, Aaron?
Hey, I'm voting for Kamala, but if y'all black and y'all on the line for Trump, look at, I think his name is Blackout. Yeah, Blackout on TikTok. And if y'all look at him and still vote for Trump, that is crazy. But I'm voting for Kamala, and I love you, Genty, and I've been watching you for years, so that's all I had to say.
Thank you, love. I appreciate it. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else wants to come up? Oh, we got 25,000 likes. Let's go. I didn't think we would get that many likes in here. Well, shit, let's get to 50,000 then. What are we waiting for? Let's get to 50,000 likes. 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000.
Hey, I just want to state something. It has nothing to do with the whole election thing. It has to do with that squirrel lady that supposedly made the phone call.
Yeah.
I found out that she wasn't the one that actually did it. Someone made a troll account, making it seem like she was the one posting it, like she was the one that was saying like she called.
No,
she's gonna be having.
It was her. She's going on an interview confirming it.
Oh, I heard that it's to confirm that she didn't do it.
No, they're confirming she did do it.
Oh, okay. I take back my statement then.
Yeah, she's confirming she did do it. That's crazy. Why would you? That poor squirrel, bro. That squirrel been alive for 7 years. Why would you? Like, if it was to have rabies, it wouldn't gave it to him. Like, that's crazy. And then they did, somebody called in all for an OnlyFans page. Like, what?
I mean, if it was just because of the OnlyFans page, that's just crazy. That's freaking crazy. And the whole fact that they actually signed off on a warrant to go do that, it's crazy. Like, there's so much stuff going on, especially here in New York, that they actually took the time and effort and resources to go get a squirrel and a raccoon and unalive them without even confirming whether or not these poor animals actually had rabies or anything like that.
Yeah, that was insane. Go ahead, Christina K.
Hello, thank you so much for having me on. I'm from Wisconsin, and I voted Harris down the ballot. My kids did as well. I have 2 adult children. As you can see in my photo, my daughter is there with the soon-to-be president, the first female president. But we all voted, and my son is transgender, and he has been that way since 4 years old, and he's 23 now, and he has aggressive Crohn's disease. But this means a lot to me. Our household as a whole, and I'm a widow at that. My husband, their father died when they were younger, but this means a lot to me. And I'm nervous as it is, and I have anxiety, but I'm hope, and I have optimistic. And I thank you so much for all you do, because I have been following you for some time now. And I just want to say you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, love. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to come up? Anybody?
I got a quick
Also, I
question.
believe Ms. Harris was president before. She'll
For
be
86
president
minutes.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, for 86 minutes, I heard.
You guys hear me?
Okay. Yeah, did you say Phoenix?
So I got a question for Trill. How did Trump fund black colleges? He said that in the comments, and I'm just curious.
I don't know. That's the first I'm hearing about that. I don't know. Besides Trump's racism and misogyny and all that extra stuff he be doing, I wouldn't want him back in office after he literally destroyed a perfectly built economy that Obama built. Like, he destroyed the economy, something fierce. And that's what happens when you elect somebody who got 6 failed businesses. What do you think he's going to do to the economy, to this country? He's going to destroy it. He destroyed it in only 4 years' time. And the way he mishandled the COVID-19 situation was insane. What did he call it? The China virus? Like, and y'all want to bring that back in office. You're bugging.
I tried explaining that to people, and they still don't understand that when they say, oh, during his administration, stuff was good and all that extra. Of course, he was writing under Obama's stuff. He spent 8 years trying to fix what the Bush administration did. And then he was riding on the coattails of Obama. That's why things were good. He ain't doing anything. The shit that's happening now, we're riding under his tax plan. Cheetos face tax plan. That's why the things are the way that they are. And they end in 2025. So the whole fact of the economy being good, I never understood that. And you bring them the facts and they be like, nah, that's not true. That's not true. Man.
Go ahead, Almighty. You there?
Oh shit, I ain't meant to request, my bad.
No, you're good. What's up, Jules? Anybody else want to come up? Anybody would like to come up? Anybody would like to come up? Come on, don't be shy. Yes, Sheeta, that's okay. All right, Phoenix, thank you for coming up, love. Go ahead, Sheeta, what's up?
Hi, Jonty. I'm so sorry if I have a lag. I am so sorry. Hi, I'm a Harris supporter. Are we just giving opinions today?
Yeah, because the election's tomorrow. So I'm just trying to host this live for the big day, and then tomorrow, when they after the polls close at 8, I will be live streaming the news the whole night. So we gonna find out.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be here for that. I'm definitely gonna be here for that because I've been with you since Womblands, and Sir, they, them, love you to death. Love you to death. I've followed you since Moonlands, almost 2 years. Love you to death. Sorry, I had to get that out real quick. I just want to say, as a Kamala supporter, now I will admit, and I'm not proud of it, but unfortunately, I was a 2016 Trump voter. Excuse me. I grew up very Republican. Grew up in a very conservative area, very brainwashed. It wasn't until about 2018 that I started to realize what was actually going on and what was actually happening, and started becoming more aware of what was actually happening in today's politics. I just want to thank you for allowing me up. I've followed you for so long, and I really, really, really appreciate you, John T. I really do. I really do. Both you and your wife. Yeah, I love both of you. I'm sorry. I'm going to.
No, you're good, love. I appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, that autistic girl.
I am voting for Kamala.
Kamala, baby.
Oh, thank you, Kamala. Sorry.
Okay.
Like, I've seen different people call her different things, so it's Kamala. I am voting for her.
Okay.
But I don't like every single policy she has. I just think it would be easier to organize underneath her, and also it's easier to like put somebody else's house fire out when your house isn't on fire. Does that make any sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. And you're not the only one that feels that way. I don't necessarily agree with every single thing like on paper that she got as well. But I will say, if and when she does become the president, when I tell you everybody needs to gather around and like make sure we put foot to ass and let her know, okay, we got you here. Now you need to start handling fucking business about this Palestine situation. Like that's
exactly.
Like, you better do something about that.
Exactly. Keep the foot on her neck.
Because if you don't try to do something, I will light you up myself on social media. I don't care. I don't care if you're a black woman. I don't care. We helping putting your ass in office so we can have a better chance of helping the people in this country and helping other people across the seas. She's got to do something. I don't care if Israel's an ally or not. You got to speak up and do something. You have to do something. You got to try. You got to try. There's no excuse for you not to try. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge she's not the perfect candidate, but she's the best shot we have of not getting this guy back in again. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, well, you guys had 4 years with Trump. You guys survived it. Not everyone did, though. Did we forget that? The Charlottesville situation, like not everyone survived it. Even people on his side didn't survive it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's people who died at the Capitol when this happened. A lot of people did not survive his 4-year reign of terror. A lot of people died from COVID during his, remember, COVID happened during his 4-year reign of terror. And you know how many people died because of how he mishandled the COVID-19 crisis? A lot of people died under this man unnecessarily.
Facts.
Also, another thing too, when he went into office, there was a pretty even Supreme Court, meaning it was half left, half right, right? Right now, the Supreme Court is stacked in his favor. So that means they won't help us out at all. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Well, not unless Kamala gets in. And if Kamala gets in, then she will be able to put in 2 Supreme Court justices. Now, if Trump gets in, then yes, obviously the Supreme Court will be absolutely stacked in their favor. But if Kamala gets in, then yes, we will be able to get at least 2 Supreme Court justices that will be able to somewhat balance. It won't balance it completely, but it will somewhat balance the Supreme Court. There will still be some work to do. There's still going to be a fight to fight, but it will be a step in the right direction versus a step in the wrong direction.
You guys
I
could-
apologize if I was talking over somebody. I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't talk over anyone. I was just saying if somebody wanted to come up, they can come up if they want, or somebody else can speak.
Please,
But
if
yeah.
you're an op, if you're a Trump supporter, please come up, please.
They're not gonna come up. They're not. There's no point of
Scared of
asking.
you. They're
I mean,
scared of you, Shanti. They're scared. They're like that ass.
No, they're not afraid of me. That's not what that is. They don't want to get blocked or muted or whatever, because that's all that happened whenever somebody who had opposing views came up. I kept blocking them, muting them, and so now they don't even want to bother coming up, and rightfully so, because they're not gonna be able to. They're gonna feel like they're not gonna be able to speak their mind. So, and again, I'm not gonna beg nobody to come up if they don't want to.
I mean, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, this is a good opportunity. I mean, it is your platform. You do what you do. I mean, I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, you heard him. You know, if you want to come up, come up. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, Joe Stein supporter. I don't give a damn. Just come up if you want, because I promise you, I'm not gonna be up here all night begging people to hop in this box, and I damn sure not gonna be sitting here, you know, asking for help all night and not receiving it. That's definitely not gonna happen. I'll definitely try again tomorrow, because what time is it?
I want to ask everybody, like, what's their opinion on Jill Stein? Like, what do you guys think about her?
May I offer my opinion after Jonty?
Go ahead.
Hold on. Before you guys do, Uma Prince, what brings you up?
Hey, yeah, I heard you guys wanted a different opinion, so I thought I'd jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I chose not to vote on this.
Okay.
In a protest for my way of protesting that this system has failed. I think it's too old. It's not doing the job anymore. I think America deserves a better system than this two-party system.
Okay.
No.
So,
Let
Uma, may I ask?
No, let him finish completely. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. That's the reasons why I decided not to vote. It's not gonna go nowhere. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? We running on the same wheel for the past 20 years. Somebody comes in with one party, fuck shit up. The other party come in, fix some things up, and pass on different agendas. And then they go and they come with the other party comes in and does the same thing. So it's just a complete cycle that it's not going nowhere. Countries around the world are passing the United States in all kind of aspects. We're talking economically, education, everything. Even the lifestyle, like the thing that America was known for, like the American dream, have a house, have a business. These things are dying. Students, you know, it's not going nowhere. But during the election time, you hear these candidates talk about these issues and present their solutions. But you ask later, 4 years later, what happened to those solutions? They're not even in their mind. They don't even think about it. So I think it's a failed system, and we need something different. That's all.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
And you know what? You are valid in how you feel. And if you don't want to vote, you do not have to, because people don't realize that people fought and died for people to have not just the right to vote, but the right to choose. I think people forget that. People that look like me, people that, I don't know what you look like, Uma Prince. What's your race?
I'm African. I'm originally from Africa. I'm an African immigrant.
Okay, so okay, bet. Yeah, so people in this country who fought for the right to vote, they fought for the right to vote. That means you can choose to vote or choose not to. He has the right to do that, right? So I can't be mad at that at all. If that's your choice, that's your choice. If what you saw is not enough to vote and you're turned off by it because neither presidential candidate gave you an umph to want to get up and vote, that's your choice, and that's on them, respectfully. So I can't be mad at that. That's why I need you guys in the box and people in the chat to just let them talk. Let them talk. Let them, if they think the system is fucked up.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. If they feel the system is fucked up, that's how they feel. And you know what? Prince is also not wrong about that, because the system is messed up. Because we shouldn't be having to do the lesser of two evils crap every single 4 years. They're not wrong.
Thank you.
They're not wrong.
We hear the same statement every single election: the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two. Why? A country of this big, of this wealth, of this level of education, we can't have like decent people, bro. I'm not even asking like we need the smartest people in the world. No, we need just an average, highly educated people that work for the people. That's it. But the problem is, it's not the people, not the individuals. Now, let's be honest. Like these individuals, when they pursue this public work, they do have good intentions when they start, when they're young. That's a fact. They all have that drive to do that. But once they're in the machine, they get corrupted because they have to. They have to play the game to stay in the game. Simple.
Go ahead, Sheeta. You can speak. Sheeta, you there, love? Top left.
Okay. Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here. So Prince, may I ask a question, if that's okay?
Go ahead.
So Prince, may I ask you why? Okay, so you saw the Madison Square Garden rally, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any feelings as to that rally, or anything that Donald Trump has said that is remotely even close to that? Does that maybe sway your vote in any way, shape, or form?
I heard him say worse things before. I mean, why are you highlighting that? He said worse things.
Well, the reason why I'm highlighting that is because he's talking about Americans, because Puerto Rico is an American territory and Puerto Ricans are very much Americans. And I may not be Puerto Rican and it may not be my place, but I don't think that it's very productive to call the entire island of Puerto Rico garbage and then turn around and clutch your pearls when you in turn get called garbage after the entirety of an island gets called garbage.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Are you okay?
Prince, are you just not voting the president, or are you just completely not voting? Because those are two different things.
All right, let me just break it down like this. I don't vote.
Because you can leave the presidential part blank. That is completely up to your right. But you can vote down the ballot for several different things. There's laws, judges, senators. For example, I believe it was in Louisiana. Louisiana was about to pass the heartbeat bill, but a judge blocked it. That judge won by less than 600 votes in that state. So 600 people were able to stop a heartbeat bill, which inevitably saves women's lives.
Okay, I understand that.
Like, you can literally just leave the presidential part blank.
It's not about the presidency. I'm talking about the whole system. What's the point? Like, okay, this judge, for example, you're talking about, he did that with thing cool. Okay, just like that bill, the Supreme Court, another judge will come in and just do the opposite. It's simple. Like, that's the problem. We don't have like one, like what I'm trying to say, like one common goal. I feel like, you know what I mean. This system does not provide that. It doesn't provide unity within the nation. In China, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. In China. In the last election, when Donald Trump won the election, the last election, the day he won, the night he won, the next day, the Congress in China approved a creation of 280,000 clean energy jobs. They were waiting for that moment. They were waiting for that. They were praying that Trump wins. Why? Because they know he's gonna come out of the Paris agreement. And with that, it's going to create these jobs, this for clean energy, because the whole world is going to that direction no matter what. So if America doesn't want that, which is the lion's share that Obama secured, now China takes the 280,000 jobs in that clean energy. So this system does not provide even individuals that actually care about this country when it comes to its interest. And that's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing, your local elections can keep your community safe. Again, I understand like nationally there is an issue, and I understand not voting for the president. That is completely and utterly understandable, right? But again, like for example, in my county that right here, I can vote for our Supreme, our attendant Supreme, which is the guy who does the like curriculums for the school, right? So I can vote to protect LGBTQ rights, the right to Black history, that kind of stuff, right? When you vote in local elections. Local elections, I will argue, are actually more important.
I don't think you understand me fully. Like that's the thing. Like these things that you mentioned are basic fundamentals. Why are we arguing about them? That's the problem, because the system does not. It needs you to be divided for it to continue to work. That's my point.
Thank you, Jules, for the Cash App. Thank you, Jules. And remember, guys, the Cash App there is for emergency crowdfund for me and the fam. Bills are billing right now, and we need help trying to pay some of them off. If you guys can help, go ahead, Archer. You didn't speak yet.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I'm 22. I live in Georgia, and I always voted for Harris.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sheeta, did you figure out your Wi-Fi situation, beloved? Because I see the red bar on your thing. Yeah, her and her Wi-Fi going to war, I see. Go ahead, SD. Actually, no, Texas. Hold on, SD. Texas, you were here first. Did you want to speak, Texas Dream? Or is Texas Dream on the phone? Okay, Texas Dream probably on the phone. All right, Miss Barbie, go ahead.
Test. Yeah, so hi, I'm Barbie. I'm 32 years old. I'm planning on voting for Cornel West tomorrow.
Okay.
Who closest thing we have to Karl Marx running. And to comment on somebody's earlier statement, yeah, it'd be nice if Americans came together behind a unified cause. But keep in mind that almost half this country tomorrow is voting for a man who took the rights of children away to not be pregnant.
Well, there you go.
Before Donald Trump, 100% of kids in America had the right to not be pregnant. And Donald Trump took that away.
Sorry about that, Genty.
No,
Can I make a comment now?
hold on, wait. Let me make sure Barbie's done.
Okay.
Barbie, were you done with your statement?
Pregnant fourth graders should be bad, but half the country is willing to throw that away to vote for Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, half the country is a bunch of pedophiles, but you ain't heard it from me, Barbie.
If I had a nickel for every time Trump was best friends with a child trafficker, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but we're.
Oh, that's right. He was on Epstein Island and he was at the Diddy parties. Makes sense.
He was in the commercials for the Diddy parties.
In the 90s, right? You saw the same thing I saw?
Yeah, the 1998 VH1.
VH1, yep.
Diddy birthday party.
His birthday party. Yeah, I seen that on TikTok too. That was insane. Damn. But go ahead, Texas.
Thank you, Genty. I just want to say, been following you for a while, obviously, from a lot of different angles, but you put out a post the other day. I had to tag it. So I appreciate you entering the space and giving people a place to kind of hash this thing out, kind of what we think. But the gentleman that was saying why, the premise is simply this: the experience is a journey, sir. And this is why we vote. You can't get old until you age. It requires time. And as you age, you learn different things that you thought were good are no longer good for you. So the experience of America and the experience of all of us is to continue the process. A lot of times we get bamboozled by an all or nothing proposition. And the premise that I say when we talk about the lesser of 2 evils is simply this: life comes down to a simple process. Mathematically, you're either gaining or losing. It's pretty much that simple. And so when we pick candidates, are there things that are going to add to the experience potentially or not? And right now, the tale of the 2 tones are: one is divisive and dividing, and the other one is trying to be inclusive. So I think addition is the way to go. And I'll land there. Thanks.
Who are you voting for, Texas? Kamala?
Yes, I have voted for Miss Harris for 4 reasons. 1, women's right to choose as a man, not being a woman, but coming from one. I would be remiss if I didn't stand for and behind any woman or women's movement. I think it's time for men to stand up and support our women. We ask them to go above and beyond for us, to do all the things that we need for them to do, to be whoever they need to be for us all the time, all day, every day, 365. A moment in my life has come about where a woman has an opportunity to do something that women have not been able to do. So I'm voting for her on behalf of the women. And the other thing is, I believe that I don't want to go from impunity to immunity. And I believe that as a former prosecutor in the justice system, she understands how to do that based on her current policies that she has had while she was in that process. Perfect? Not. Can you find fault? Absolutely. My question is, who's perfect? No one. But the issue is she was able to maintain, get reelected, and ascend. So obviously, if it was a problem locally or in the area, then I would surmise that people would not allow her to continue her journey, which they did. Hindsight coaching is not beneficial to a woman that has been in 3 branches of government: judicial, legislature, and now she's in the executive and vying for the top seat in the executive. I don't believe we've had a president that has had this level of experience, opportunity for us. So this is why I say support her. I'll end there.
I want to also say something before Sheeta wants to speak, because she said she got to say something. 81 million votes already were in before Election Day. it was 81 million total votes counted the day after the election in the 2020 election. So more people are voting now than the last election. It's expected to exceed 100.
Exactly.
It's expected to exceed 100 million voters this election, which is one of the most voted elections in history. So a lot of people who usually don't vote, they're voting. And they're either voting third party, voting Kamala, or voting Trump. So just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead, Sheeta.
Okay, I know I do have a lag, and I sincerely apologize for that, Jonty. I'm huge fan. I followed you since the Wombland days. But for anybody that follows me on the Polititalk, please mind your manners when you come in here. If you follow me, you better respect Jonty. You better respect Jonty, and you better respect his mods, and you better respect everything that comes into this live. This is not my life. This is a black space, not a white space. Your feelings will not be coddled. Please know that. Please know that. Do not come in here expecting to be coddled. Do not come in here expecting to be on that white savior bullshit. Don't. Thank you. That's all I had to say, Jonty. I'll go back.
Okay, clock that T. Go ahead, Angelina.
Hi, Jonty. I'm voting for, well, I've been voted for Kamala Harris. And the reason why I voted her is because of the gun policy that she...
oh, yeah, she's removing semi-automatic or something like that?
Yes, she's banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing for me because I've been pew-pewed at very recently. And I just found out a few days ago that she plans on to ban all assault weapons. So that's very heartwarming to me. And I'm very happy that she's deciding to do this.
That's going to minimize pew-pewings at schools and churches. And it's that helps. That helps. That helps. I mean, in my opinion, this country should be like freaking Australia when it comes to pew-pew policies. But yeah, it's America. America loves their pew-pews, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been a huge thing. Election day is tomorrow for me. I've already voted, though. So I'm really scared. If I'm being honest, I'm really scared. I've been pacing back and forth, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I'm hoping for Kamala to win.
No, autistic girl, 81. It was 81 million. I misspoke. It was 81 million before the election day in 2020. But this election is supposed to exceed that.
And for D, so high capacity magazines require a universal background check. Like if you have a criminal record, I'm guessing, then you cannot buy an assault weapon that is not registered at all. You cannot buy from anybody. You will have some jail time, what I'm reading right now. But shaking right now because I'm fucking terrified. I'm going to try to refrain from cussing. But
Yes, Danielle. I feel the same thing too, but I can't sit here and worry about that because the two things are gonna happen, right? Either Trump's gonna win or Kamala's gonna win, right? What's the worst that's gonna happen? Trump wins, white folks feel validated, they're gonna feel like they got their country back, and then it's gonna be 2016 to 2020 again, where me as a black man, I keep my head down, go to work, make my money, take care of my family. And then white boys are going to sit here and feel emboldened to buck their chest because they got their mans in office. And then we smack the shot of them like we did in fucking Alabama. That's one way of doing it. But then on the other hand...
That's why we beat them at the polls.
Exactly. And then on the other hand, if Kamala wins, it might be the purge anarchy. And last I checked, everybody in here know how to fight, right? So then I think we good. I like our chances. Archery, I know you can fight. I can tell you. I can tell just by the way you're looking at that camera, boy. I know you can fight. So
I can fight. I'm been fighting. I'm sick and tired of fighting.
Fight.
We'll
scrap. I'll fight. Let's go.
I want to take a break from fighting. But after this election, I'm not done yet. I'm planning on taking over TikTok.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So yeah, that's the two. Either way, I'm a survivor. I've been a survivor my entire life. I'm gonna be 35 next month. I've been surviving. That's
exactly the right message from this, bro. Survivor by any means. I don't care who's in office.
Yeah, that's just how I'm looking at it.
And if you're not following, why aren't you following Shanti? Because Shanti is awesome. Why aren't you following Shanti? Hello. Get with the program. Follow him. Yes.
And also, buy his music so he can get on billboards and share this live and like it up. Support him.
Smart though, yes.
I've been here since 2021. I've been doing my thing. Support Genty. Support this live. And gift people if you can.
Poor Shanti, yes, please. I am the Viva Broca. Come on, we need y'all to make up for me. Come on.
I wanna also say I like the vibe in this live because we got two individuals who are not voting who are not feeding into the two-party whatchamacallit, and I fuck with it. I like it because you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, SD Bar, you voting for Mr. West? Why you ain't voting for? Nah, that's your right. You have a right to vote for whatever the hell you want to. And then Mr. Prince is choosing not to vote at all, and he has the right to choose not to. Because again, I want to make this very clear. My ancestors, our ancestors that look like me, look like you, they fought and died not for you to solely vote. They fought and died so you have the choice to vote or not to vote. That is what
I say. You better tell him, Dante.
That's what they fought and died for you to have the choice to do what you feel is the right choice to make with that option. If you feel not voting is the right thing to do, if that's how you truly feel, you have the right to feel that way. And if
can I just slightly disagree with that premise? And then let me bring the math from this angle. There was a time when, quote unquote, the right to was not available. So the movement, although we're in a moment of a continuation of this movement that has been going for me or for people that look like me in the American experience for 405 years to date in 2024. So our experience of melanation domination by a different race of people began 405 years ago. And the premise was those in control controlled the environment. They did so with planning and democracy and so forth, which we were not able to participate in. We had literacy tests, poll tax, being countings, a host of things to validate somehow our conscious ability to actually do this thing that we call, as you say, the choice to or not to. The fight wasn't whether we could or could not, but it was a fight to, because at one point in time we could not. We didn't even have the option. So my pushback is it wasn't a fight to give you the option. It was a fight to propel you to continue to do, because when we all participate, as Genty said, in the election system, then we're confident that we have a viable showing from America. So if I'm in a city, somebody said locally, and 100% of all the residents in my city went to the polls and we all voted on something, and whatever won, I would have to eat it or accept it, whether I liked it or not, because in my area, the majority of people, the issue that we have with the gerrymandering and all the things it's unbalanced unfairly to actually give us that premise. So voting matters, whether you vote for the president or whether you vote for the cities, the counties, the states, such here in Texas. I'm pulling for Colin Aldrich to get Ted Cruz out of the Texas politics for a moment.
I'm so sorry
if
to
he does it
interrupt
in
you, but
Texas-
so do you agree then that I'm so sorry. I do have a lag, and I sincerely apologize. But do you agree then that the electoral college is maybe a something that is non-predictive to the United States?
No, I disagree with that. Based on how the electoral system actually operates, like the people that are selected for it, how they're actually selected, there's a process. I mean, we talk about it in an abstract way, but we never get down into the weeds on how it actually comes about. Like, who are these people? Where do they come from? How did they get to cast this quote unquote vote for us? Like, because they're a part of us. And so when you really delve down into what the electoral college system is, who the people that actually cast quote unquote the 270 to win, where they come from, you would actually be amazed if you really took civics that it's actually the democracy in process. It allows for a grouping of a large amount of people to cast their wishes and then have their wishes be honored by someone that their sole job is to go up and do it. We have never had, to my knowledge, ever any elector ever go against the will of the people. I think we'd have a constitutional issue if that happened, and we'd have to deal with it at that point. But to say that the system doesn't work when we've never had any malfeasance would be my premise.
For example, sir. Last time when Hillary Clinton lost her race, and she lost because of electoral votes, not because of how many people voted for her. Majority of the country voted for her. Let's remember that. Majority of the country.
I understand that, sir, but you got to understand the electoral system is not designed by popular vote, because if you only did popular vote, then the mass population areas in our country would dominate the politics. And so the electoral system is designed to give some balance throughout the entire nation. So not just that. So yes, she lost even though she had the popular vote, but she didn't triangulate it correct. She lost mainly because of someone in government.
So Texas Dreammaker, I know I have a lag, but so you basically, if I'm understanding correctly, you are basically saying that Kamala Harris was more or less a DEI hire, correct?
No, and the reason that I will say that she was not is because when you look at the career that the woman has taken, most of her employment opportunities was not through the DEI process, but through a political process where people actually had to go someplace, cast a vote, and do it. There was not some system saying, oh, you are this and you have this qualification, or you're this hue or this color. It didn't happen. So
Correct.
I disagree with that.
You are correct. I do apologize for my lag. I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. I do have like a 10-second lag at least. But my question for you, sir, is what do you think are the disqualifications for Kamala Harris to be president?
I do not believe there are any that I have been alerted to or anyone has pointed out to me. I can tell you from my vantage point what allows her to be qualified, but I don't know of anything that would.
I'm not asking you what. I apologize. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not asking you what qualifies her. I'm asking you what disqualifies her from being president of the United States.
My answer is I have nothing that I'm aware of that would cause me to give you information saying that this is a disqualifying feature, facet, or skill set that this woman has. Now, if you would like to enlighten me in some vein, I'm here to learn as well, because I am an American.
Hey, Mr. Texas, I have a question. Do you want to get away from the two-party system?
I want to get away from the two-party system. let me put it to you this way. We have a two-party system that came about from a three-party system. Most people are not historian enough to know that. When the Dixiecrats of the Democratic Party of the South were Democrats and they split with the Northern Democrats, they basically took over, or not over, they integrated initially. Now they kind of took over, but they integrated with the Republican Party. All right. So at that point in time, we had three pretty much parties: the Whigs, the Republicans, the Democrats. All right. Now
Okay,
the Republicans
please tell me you're not forgetting about the party switch of 1964, right?
You guys gotta hold on.
Nearly
You guys-
described
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying to you is this integration into the Republican Party from the Dixiecrats, right, created the current version of the Republican Party that we have, which basically, as you said, that's when the switch occurred, right? Because prior to that, the Dixiecrats of the South were dominating the Democratic Party nationally, locally, and in the southern areas. And when they lost their way, so to speak, they were the quote unquote, and I'm not necessarily against MAGA, but I'm trying to understand the premise of when it was great. Because back then it wasn't really great. And we had a party split. We had three parties. Two of them got together. They became now the Republican Party and then the Democratic Party. At this point, we have a switch. Now the people that were for us is against us, and the people that was against us now for us. And for us, meaning people that look like me, melanated Black people in America.
If I may, Janti, I apologize. This is bibliophile Jamal. So that I can understand, Texas, are you supporting Donald Trump?
No, sir, I am not.
All right. Well,
so Ms. Harris.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you. So to the extent of how we engage this conversation, is there anybody on the panel that supports Jill Stein? To the extent that you accept that a mediocre political cicada is engaging in the political process.
Not Jill Stein, but Cornel West.
Okay, another political cicada. Anybody else?
I don't support. I am voting for Kamala. I am. However, I want to get away from the two-party system, and the only way to get away from the two-party system is to get rid of the electoral college. Because
are you going to do that tomorrow?
No. I am
so
voting
for Kamala. You're voting for
Yes,
Kamala.
I am. I have already.
Though I appreciate that, but tomorrow is tomorrow. I'm asking about tomorrow, like the little orphan Annie. It's always a day away, but tomorrow. Is anybody voting for Jill Stein, who is a mediocre white woman who shows up
Hell no.
as a cicada? All right, well, God bless y'all. I'm going to mute myself because guess what? I'm not funny. I'm sorry, Johnson.
I would like to say what you're saying, sir, is really great.
Don't kick me off. But it matters to me. Listen, I got to tomorrow.
But all I'm saying is that in order for a third party to be able to get anywhere, you would have to win more than 5% of the vote. And in order for you to win 5% vote, you would need a lot more, I guess, traction is the word that I'm looking for. You would need a lot more traction, and unfortunately, the third party just doesn't have that right now. It hasn't had that for a very, very long time. If you want a third party to maybe take office in the future, I recommend after the election, after this Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris election, I very, very much encourage you to participate in your state and your local elections and vote for outside your Republican and outside of your Democratic Party. Vote for somebody who's maybe, I don't know, independent, libertarian, or somebody who's just in the middle. And get party people in there.
I mean, like a centrist and want a medium because not for nothing, because of how far right the right side has gone, medium isn't medium anymore. It is literally right leaning. That means we have to sacrifice on so much to get to that medium.
And you're not wrong. You were absolutely right. You were absolutely right. There is so much hatred that we all have to get through. Like, white people, especially white people need to get over their superiority complex.
Hold on, Sheeta, hold on real quick. Barbie, Kathy does have a good point. She asks if you can explain Cornell's stance and position and what are his plans if he is to become the president of the United States of America.
I can go one of two ways. I can go down his entire list on his website. It's very clean, very organized. I can go that route, or I can just say he's the closest thing we have to Karl Marx running for president right now with true leftist policies. He's for universal health care for all Americans. He's in favor of reparations for the wrongdoings of every generation, especially slavery. He is in favor of radical clean energy. He is still pro Second Amendment, but he does believe in regulations such as mandatory insurance and pew-pews.
Okay, here's my question. Has he ever held any sort of office outside of running for president? Because a lot of people's issues with the third party people is that they literally ground every 4 years and show up and make all these outlandish promises. And they can make those outlandish promises because they've never actually held any government position. Thus, there's no history of them backtracking, of them just promising us stuff and then not giving it to us. So has he ever held a government position, or is he just running off of ideas and saying things that he knows will get him votes? And before anyone says anything, I know a lot of presidents already do that. But that's kind of like my point, is that like we all say, oh, third party, but there's no concrete evidence that they're actually gonna do any better than what we have.
Kathy, and then Lady P.
Hello everyone. So Bobby, I had a question. How does he actually plan to like for reparations, for example, like how did he like lay down like bullet point by bullet point how he plans to implement those things that you mentioned?
Not that I can recall off the top of my head, but what he might do is basically the same thing that the government did when the slave owners lost their slaves and go that exact route. Yeah, there were reparations after the Civil War. They just didn't go to the slaves. They went to the slave owners who lost
Okay. I like
have systems in place.
I like how I heard slave owners saying out to the doors and they go.
But what the bill was doing was to track hate crimes and the reason for it, but the purpose of them tracking the hate crimes is to actually gauge how the increase in hate or whatever, and how to go about protecting Asian people. So that was, but that was, and it said in the beginning bill that it was written up because of the anti-Asian hate.
No, it's very, and that's what the issue came in at for Black people, right? That because not saying that they shouldn't have had one. I want to make that very clear before I say this. Hate crimes towards Asian people were rising during that time.
Bad.
But how quick the Asian hate bill
I say lady, I might get cancer soon. I think I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
John T about to be that too. We already know.
I'll say this with my chest, right? The same way that everyone was advocating for the anti-Asian hate bill, which again, like Ev said, it needed to happen because I'm saying like the crimes, like it was insane for Asian people, right? Respectfully, a lot of the Asian folks didn't have our back. And they didn't scratch our back.
Hell yeah.
I'm putting it out there because who was the main race that was helping push that bill for Asian people? It was niggas.
Well, and then this is why you had said something. Y'all, please don't be mad at me, but I'm gonna try to explain this the best that I can. You remember you had said something where it was another topic you were having, and you were talking about oppressed Americans, and
yes,
you put Asian right up there at the top, and I said I disagree. Because I'm not, and this is where I think a lot of it comes in, why certain marginalized.
I didn't put Asian at the top on purpose.
You did. No, you did. You did. Because I even said in the comments, I don't know why you did that. And this is my thing. I'm not saying that there is not a level of oppression to Asian people in this country. It absolutely is. However, when we're talking about oppression, right, when it comes to how we standardize oppression in this country, Asian is right below white. They would never be up there with the oppression of Black people. Now, we're not talking about discrimination and things like that. We're talking about literal oppression.
All right, and that's just I would consider that to be like just objectively true. When you look at the way that Asian people are able to progress,
literally said that there is a level of oppression when it comes to Asian people. I am not speaking about the prejudices, the xenophobia, the racial hatred or anything towards Asian people. I'm speaking to literal oppression, which is prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. I am sorry. There is nothing you can say about a concentration camp that had a long time ago. I'm sorry. It is valid. But in the argument I'm making right now, there's no bearing. Don't piss me off for that. I just woke up. This is why you don't understand what I said about Cornel West and Obama. And you tried to relate it to you being part of another marginalized non-racial group, to think that would have some leg work or leg up on understanding what I was talking about instead of trying to understand what I was talking about. This is why when we have these conversations, it's really hard. You sound like a very smart person. When I came up here, I was like, okay, go you. We got somebody smart on the panel. But when people are very insensitive to racial issues or race in this country, this is the type of comments we get. The level of trying to understand what was being said instead of, oh my gosh, all I heard was Black people are more oppressed than Asian. Let me bring this Asian stuff up. Like, don't play with me. Nobody's denying the history that Asian people have gone through in this country. And I made that clear.
Yeah, you know what? I might be white, sure, absolutely. But my people, you know, we were hanging from the same tree once our identities were found out.
Okay,
no,
hold on.
wait.
Real quick.
No.
Hold on. Don't nobody say nothing. Real quick. Just I gotta do something. I gotta do something. Do you see? Do y'all see what just happened here? I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna be smart. I'm gonna be really nice to him. Do y'all see what just happened right here? It happens every time we have conversations. Every single time. No matter what the conversation is. If 174 people didn't see what just happened here, then y'all still are in the wrong space to be understanding this conversation.
But Barbie, are you talking about queer white men being unalive? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm talking about all queer people people, not just men, not just white men.
Okay, all right. So you're talking about queer people. Okay.
The only thing I'm trying to initially, what I'm trying to initially respond to is that it's not a perfect vertical ladder of oppression. There are multiple branches.
So
That's the
why?
only thing
So here's my issue, right? This is what I don't understand. If I'm specifically speaking to Black oppression, and I'm explaining it in a manner that is valid to set conversation on levels of oppression in America currently and historically. And I acknowledge the fact that Black people in this country, our oppression will always be up here. And that I'm sorry, even though Asian people and other people went through terrible things, their oppression is not within the same level. What in the absolute hell made you bring up a demographic of people that also includes Black people? So not only did you prove the point of Black oppression still being more than singular white oppression of any demographic, you sounded ignorant and bigoted.
So, hear what she's saying, right?
How much you voting for Cornel West? Get the fuck out of here.
Go ahead, Lady P. Go ahead. I'll wait till y'all done.
No, I would disagree with that because Cornel West is a very pro-Black person. Like, to say like, he prioritizes Blackness over anything. So just to sit there and say that just kind of crazy to me. But this is why I consistently say that YT, LGBTQ plus people are still YT at the end of the day. And like, this does not change that because it was so easy. It was just so easy for you to just feel the need to butt in and be a part of a conversation and regarding the conversation of race and racial oppression, and it does not impact you in any way, shape, or form. Like, for some reason, you just had to be in the mix in the moment of that when the conversation was not about you. It wasn't relevant to you, honestly. So that's just a major issue for me. And to try and say and as a Black queer person who's very well versed on queer issues as well as Black issues and the intersectionality of them, I just think it's just kind of crazy for you to say that my people was hanging from the same little trees as yours back then. That was not the reality for queer people.
Wait. You're
back then. No, it was not. That was not the. That was not the reality. That was not the reality. I'm in the middle of talking. So our reality as queer people was not largely consistent of strange fruits. It was largely consistent of other forms of oppression and brutalization that did not take place on trees. That was not what was happening back then at large. And even then, when you look at what really spearheaded the movement for queer people to start being protected against that brutalization, it was the case of a white man, Matthew Shepard. Like, what are we talking about here?
Matthew Shepard was the one that got unalived by the two guys, right?
Yeah.
And Ellen DeGeneres was like so distraught.
Get strung up with
had a whole thing.
Yeah, I
know. Far from the only person that had it.
Hold on, real quick, Barty. Here is where I'm stuck on. Lady P, you were exactly right about everything. But that just also is an example to the oppression of Black people currently. When we think about history and what we are minimized to, that was the only correlation he made was being strange fruit and hanging from a tree. And had to, like, because white people can't just be, they have to be a part of everything. So the minimization of what that actually meant to Black people
is disgusting. It's sickening. Like my stomach is like doing a little nauseous thing. But that was the first thing you thought to come out your mouth. While being on the panel with black queer people.
Yeah, because I don't think Barbie, respectfully, I don't think y'all ready for this part of the conversation. YT queer men, especially, have oppressed the shit out of black queer people. Y'all not ready for that convo at all, especially the black trans girlies. Oh my God, YT gay men have been treating black trans women like shit for decades. Like decades. I'm talking since the fucking civil rights era, Jim Crow era. Y'all been treating them like trash for, I can't even. When Marsha P. Johnson was walking around this planet, the Stonewall, whatchamacallit, even around that time, YT gay dudes was treating black queer people like shit. That we are never going to be on the same level of oppression.
Let's talk about the content riots. Let's talk about the content riots and how YT women was out here getting the credit for that when this really happened off the backs of black and brown trans sex workers. Like, and this wasn't the work of YT women. They didn't spearhead it, but they got the credit for it. Like, they were the face of it. Like, these are the things that we're talking about here. Like, please, miss me with that shit.
Can I add something real quick?
Would love for him
Can we
to
not?
get some-
I think he needs to be educated on how ballroom got started. Because was it like sometimes YT queer men was kicking out black drag queens out their shows, making sure they wasn't renting the show, making sure they wasn't renting the concert contest, doing all of this stuff.
Yes.
Sabotaging the drag shows against the black and brown drag queens.
Yes.
So, and let's not forget, let's go all the way back to like the 18th antebellum U.S., where actually there was queer white guys that were slave owners.
Oh, damn.
We can go all the way back then. We can take it all the way back.
I think it's important to note too, like, I'm not saying, I'm sure there were white people who were strange fruited for that reason, but I want for him to provide a source that it was on the same level as black people and like what the correlation is. But the correlation is that
without mentioning Matthew Shepard, and respectfully, what happened to Matthew Shepard was fucking horrible. Like, I still have nightmares about that story. That story broke my fucking heart because that little boy didn't deserve that at all. He deserved peace and love. He was such a good kid, you could tell. But respectfully,
they made a movie about him, correct?
Yes, and a TV show. If Matthew Shepard was a black gay man, it would not have gotten the media coverage it got. Ellen DeGeneres would not have went on that fucking TV screen crying her little fucking gay eyes out. It wouldn't have happened. And Barbie, I think you know that to be true, because the shit that happened to Matthew Shepard been happening to black people for decades, and if not worse. Like, we were getting strange fruited just for being black men. Can you imagine if we told him we was into some butt stuff too? Oh my God, what? Can you imagine?
From St. Louis, it's still going on here.
I'm sorry, the correlation got me sick to my stomach. Because he took a correlation of the injustices done towards gay people and specified it to a particular act that was specific to black people historically.
No, I was calling
That's
out,
literally what you did. That was fucking disgusting, bro. Excuse my language, Jonty. That literally was gross. That was literally gross.
No, I was only calling out some of the Asian erasure that was going on.
Okay, good. I would love to have this one-on-one with you. Tell me Asian erasure that occurred in his life.
Yeah, the oversimplification, and I did request some stats on that about how most Asian people are living in strictly white neighborhoods, and I had to look that up now.
Okay, again, can you? saying that most Asian people live in is not Asian erasure. I asked you specifically to substantiate that claim that you just made that Asian erasure occurred in this lab. Go.
Yeah, no, talking about, no, okay, let me rewind a little bit.
Yes,
So, yeah, no, I fully recognize that, yeah, black, especially gay black individuals in this country are definitely getting shafted the hardest. At no point am I criticizing that or trying to argue against that.
Then what is your point? Because literally in just what you said just now is literally my point. So I need you to not do a lot of word salad because you made a claim. I'm going to say specifically towards me because I brought it up. So I need you to substantiate it immediately.
Yeah, no, I was just calling out the minimalization of the Asian struggle in here.
I didn't minimize Asian struggle. I was not talking about Asian struggle. And I made that specific.
No,
I was talking about oppression as we set the standard for oppression in this country. I'm not talking about that. You weren't leaving. You're not going to, no. I refuse to let you sit here and lie on anything I said. I didn't minimize any type of Asian struggle, bias, discrimination, hate, prejudice, racism towards them, none of that. I made that very clear. I was speaking to the literal standard of oppression that we have in this country. Oppression does not equate to those things, and those things don't always equate to oppression. I was speaking specifically about oppression. I didn't negate no history or anything happening to them currently. So again, where did the Asian erasure occur?
I yield.
Okay, thank you. I was waiting to hear when I said it because I definitely didn't.
So Barbie, I think you have an empathy problem. I think because you think you have the right policies, that trumps the fact that one, you're white. And it also means that like you have an empathy problem. You cannot put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and you constantly have to reiterate and go back to how you feel and how something makes you feel before you can ever put somebody else's feelings first.
If I'm not mistaken, you talked about Cornel West being a part of like the civil rights movement and things like that. Am I wrong? Did I? Because I was half asleep when I came in here. So for you not to understand what I was saying, being that was one of your application points for Cornel West, doesn't sit well with me either. Because then if that was one of your main talking points.
If you guys can bang that cash app, with that, I'm going to go ahead and go on mute. Because there were a couple questions I wanted to ask Barbie, but I'm going to wait.
Hi, Lily.
Hello.
Did you want to chime in, love?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what Eb said was 100% right. Asian Americans, we do experience racism and stereotypes, but the oppression is not the same. It's not comparable at all. I would go as far to say that we're not oppressed at all.
I wouldn't say that. There is a level of oppression, most definitely.
Yes, I would just say that in comparison, it's not the same. You can't compare the two.
What he was doing is he was taking me saying, when I was speaking to, because everybody knows what I mean when I'm saying the level of oppression that we have made set standard, that is the standard in America. I think he was taking, he was mixing oppression because with the hate or with the racism, with the discrimination, and those things are included in oppression, but they're not synonymous with oppression. No one is not acknowledging that Asian people are discriminated against. They face racism. Y'all know I'm all for understanding the plight of all racially marginalized groups. But when we're talking about the level of oppression that this history was literally built on in regards to Black people, it is just not comparable. That is not taking away any of the terrible, egregious history that Asian people have had to face and endure in this country either. That is not, it's not the same thing of what I'm talking about. That's why I asked him what the definition of oppression was. And to say that was Asian erasure, it just gives like, some people aren't equipped to have certain conversations. And I could tell it when he sat here and said that his people was hung from trees too. Like, this is insanity.
No, where I was going with that was because Asians were enslaved on the western parts of this country, right? They were forced to build the railroad industry on the west half of this country, often being worked until they were unalived.
Okay,
and
so
then they weren't even given the right to vote until what, the 70s?
So explain to me right now, what level of oppression do Asian people face the same as Black people in this country? And the fact that
I'm not saying it's the same level as Black people right now. I never said that, nor was I trying to even go close.
That is literally what you just said. In Lily, am I tweaking? Because you're Asian, correct? I don't want to speak over you. Was that not basically his response to me?
No, mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't.
No, I apologize. That is how it came off, because that is not where I was wanting to go with that.
I just don't understand what you're saying. Like, what you're like. What your goal is with this?
Oh, the point was like, oh, they were never comparable. It's like, no, there was definitely Asian slavery in this country, and even until the past 50 years.
Again, it's understanding the key points and words and things that are important to know in these conversations. You took what I said and devised your own thought process and how you thought I said and thought what I meant, because that's what you wanted to do instead of listening to what I said. Because I made it clear in the beginning of that statement, I'm not minimizing any of that. Why would I do that? That's gross. That's disgusting. But if we're talking about the standard of oppression in this country, I'm sorry. Two people, Asian people, do fall under whiteness while simultaneously still experiencing certain things. I never denied that. I never said that they didn't go through anything in this country. Never, not once did I say that.
Nor did I say you said that they never went through anything.
You literally said, are we having the same conversation? Are you here?
No, I don't think y'all are having the same conversation. I think the issue is that you Barbie are trying to level the playing field with Asian people and Black people in America, and that is just not going to happen. It's not going to. Why? Because race in itself is a categorical hierarchical system. It's not a hierarchy of two different classes. It's a hierarchy of multiple, and based on where you are in the hierarchy, it's going to determine what advantages you may have over other races, and that is what we're talking about, and that's why you don't get it, because you aren't getting the fact that there are privileges that Asian people are awarded over Black people in America. Like, we're not going to sit up here and that's not the case, and we don't have to listen to a white man trying to mansplain it to us that that it's the same experience. Like, we don't have to do that. We don't have to validate that.
But he understands the plight because he's part of the LGBTQ+ community.
Right. He understood. Yeah, you understood them strange fruits. But yeah. So that's
that was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, but that's the point that we're making here.
It's really so hard for me to have these conversations sometimes because when we have them, we have to understand whatever racial demographic we fall into, these conversations are going to contain a lot of sensitive information and emotions are going to play a factor into it, right? But we also have to be realistic and we also have to understand that when having them, there is a level of understanding amongst marginalized racial groups that white people just won't understand. And I don't know why I'm consistently amazed by the responses we get from white people. Because this could have been an Asian panel and Asian people could have been talking about everything that they had going on as far as the injustices that occurred to them currently, historically, geographically. Never in my mind am I going to sit here and want to say, well, Black people, if they are talking about Asian community things, that's just not how I operate. If we're having a conversation amongst various races, we all have an understanding. Yes, there's a level of, well, this also happened to us. This happened to us. We understand these things happen, but most of us who engage in these conversations understand words, how to use words, and how to interact with one another with those same emotions being that way. This is something also that white people don't have because these things don't affect y'all. That's why it's so easy to cling on to another demographic within an intersection, your sexuality, disability, things, religion, things like that, because there's nothing for white people to hold on to in whiteness that can even make them understand the conversation being had, because they are typically always the perpetuators of the oppression and the prejudice, discrimination, racism that we are talking about. That's why when we were talking about literal Black people in oppression, you had to bring up the demographic that lies in your intersection. That wasn't whiteness. And it's sad. It's sad.
Just gonna say this, and I do apologize if what I say will come off wrong. But at this moment, we just need to give it up. Because a lot of European Americans, no matter how we try to explain to them and do what you do, EB, all that you said went one ear and out the other with him. And it's just, I just have this, because we do this all the time. And the end result will be, they will never learn. They're not going to learn. I think in their mind, they have to feel some level of oppression for them to try to learn, to try to get it, to try to understand. But other than that, it's at this moment with him, it's going to go through one ear and out the other. He going to say it's not, but it's just that feeling like it's just going to go through one ear and out the other. He's not going to learn this lesson.
How far we jumped off the actual subject, even though we were talking about things that were within the subject. I don't know, child. You know, you got poor Lily coming up from the comments as an Asian person to tell the white person they was wrong. What is happening? Did you feel, honestly, did you feel that I was minimizing anything, Lily, or Coffee? If I did, I will apologize to you and do better going forward.
No, not at all. I agreed with you 100%. And I really don't appreciate Barbie talking about the struggles that my people went through coming from a white person And it also was not relevant to what Ed was talking about. So I don't really know where you were going with that, but.
If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong, and I apologize, and I'll do better. But there's not a white who just equated strange fruit. Ooh. Sexuality.
Oh Lord.
No, make me say anything. So I'm mute.
Lord, you know what? You know what? Okay, let me shut up. I'm sorry, y'all. It caught my guard. So Barbie, what did you learn right now? What did we gain from the situation here?
Well, a lot of it's really stuff I'm actually very familiar with. I've had these conversations. Stuff you think I'm ignorant, I've seen firsthand. I've gone through. I've empathized with a lot of people. I've listened. I've helped people. I've had.
So what we're saying is that we didn't learn anything from the conversation here.
Yeah.
You said what?
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You said what? Go ahead, speak.
Do you familiar with it? Why do we have to have this whole long drawn out conversation?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like if he's familiar with it, then why were you trying to make you know, like, why were you trying to equate the two, and why were you trying to, like, you know, on?
Yeah, no, I kept getting cut off at like every opportunity.
Okay, you got the floor. We're not going to talk.
You got the floor now. We spoke.
You're going to mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was never going down the path of how black individuals have it way worse, or that they don't have it worse. Yeah, I was never going down that route. And when I was trying to make that tree exclamation, where I was trying to go with it was, yeah, and I had a bit of, you know, being able to hide and blend in with society. But in the end, like, if I was found out, yeah, in that same tree.
I don't understand is that you are constantly...
The girl, hold on.
Sorry.
Were you completely finished? Because we did a lot of talking. I want to give you absolute no interruption.
Right. We don't want to discuss anything.
No, I won't be able to be finished. There were a lot of points that were...
All right, how about this? How about I bring the points back up and then we'll shut up after each point so you can, and then we'll respond after you've had a chance to all the points that we said. Because I want to make sure that we're not misconstruing.
Sure. Right.
Okay. All right, so the first point was about black oppression in America. And how I said Asian people tend to fall under whiteness. And when we're talking about the standard of oppression in America, Asian oppression and black oppression is not the same. Go.
No, I would love more clarification on that one.
We provided clarification earlier, and you negated the clarification when you were trying to say, well, because I made the statement about Asian home ownership and property value in America, and where Asian people typically reside in majority white neighborhoods, and why there's not as many predominantly Asian neighborhoods in America, and you were trying to negate that with whatever resources you were trying to find that would show otherwise. But yeah, so that's what that was about. So you had the clarification earlier.
Yeah, no, that's
he did bring up the internment camp. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just curious on what your source on that was, because we have I haven't seen any statistics like saying that most Asian Americans are living alongside white people in white communities. I was curious on that one. Seemed like a wild claim. I really was interested in the statistics of that. That's all.
I can be your source for that
Sure, that'd
because
be awesome.
it's true. Like, it's very true. What they're saying is true.
I'm thinking, Barbie, are you equating the fact that fact was brought up as a way to minimize Asian people's experience because they live in closer proximity to white people? Is that what you were trying to say?
Nope, that was strictly me being curious on a source like that.
Do you know you can like Google things while you're on the panel, right? Like I do it all the time.
I mean, I'm doing that right now. However, at the time, I was taking my dog for a walk.
Okay. Child. All right, so you had said one of the next points was when we were talking about the oppression, and you brought up my people were hung from those same trees.
Sure.
Yeah, but then you just tried to slickly say, I was going to say, but I could blend in, but if I was found out. And I would like to say that is other bullshit, because that point would not have even have need to have been made. Let alone in the manner in which you said it. I'm calling a liar on that one. So go ahead. You can.
Conversation was going faster than I could communicate. I dropped it at the time. Gave me a chance to go back to it. I did. If you don't believe me, okay. I don't know you. You don't know me.
I don't understand. Goes with the passive aggressiveness with them. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's like every time they get their BS called out, it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. It is what it is. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and also
what we was getting called out.
And yes, so I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to provide my sources, because I already had them here. I just had to go. I just had to go and get them once again, because as we all know, I'm never the person to say a claim without a source. That's not the reality over here. I don't know about you, but that's not me. So you go to Brookings, a snapshot of race in America's neighborhoods. This is from Brookings.edu. This was posted in 2015, and it talks about the differences in race amongst neighborhoods, and how Asian people typically live in neighborhoods that are over half white people versus how Black people and non-white Hispanic people live in more diverse neighborhoods. As well, if you go to hear the rise of Asian Americans, that was written under the Pew Research Center. And this report also talks about like the diversity amongst neighborhoods in relation to Asian people. If you go to Brookings again as well, in more recent work, it talks. There's some research titled "Even as Metropolitan Areas Diversify, White Americans Still Live in Mostly White Neighborhoods," posted by William Frey in 2020. Talked about the city of neighborhoods, and it talks about how Black and non-white Hispanic neighborhoods are still the more diverse neighborhoods in America, and Asian people still live in majority white neighborhoods. And there's only a handful of Asian majority neighborhoods as well. It uses census data from the American Community Survey of 2014 2014 to 2015 is a 5-year estimate, and you can read it now. So if you just want to go read those things regarding the diversity amongst neighborhoods and property value and things of that nature, then feel free to go read those. But that's what my sources are. I don't get on here and say things that I cannot back up. That's not me. That's not. I don't know about you.
Hey, Lady P or Zena, one of y'all are both mods, right?
Not on this page.
Zena, are you a mod? What mods are here have the ability to?
I'm a mod. I'm a mod. What's up?
To drop and add people?
Yeah.
All right, I'm running to take a shower real quick.
All right, I got you.
All right.
Why I got so quiet?
Yeah, I don't know why. So Barbie, are you gathering those sources?
Huh?
Are you? No, I'm asking Barbie. Barbie, are you fact checking? What's going on?
Oh yeah, no, I was just feeding my dog. I was trying to look up the sources that you gave.